Boom, and according to that I am live. I do want to start streaming. They asked me the question and I answered. I have that is playing in the background. That is a video with 70 cuts from the party the last night that I just edited. I just finished editing. I did it in 1 hour because I'm flying out to Malaysia tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, first thing, so I'm not going to have time to edit it, so I want to get it out there. So I haven't had time to actually put annotations on every single one of the clips, which is what I would usually want to do. But what I'll do is I'll ask people, if you're in this, leave a comment with a little time code saying what your clip in the video is going to be, and that will be there. I haven't prepared a music outro for tonight, and actually I do have to get ready for traveling tomorrow, so actually I'm probably not going to do an outro tonight, I don't think. I've just realized I've got to close the door to make this place a bit more soundproof. Ooh. Because it is late at night at the moment. I have a ton of topics, as I always do, but I will try to get through them as quickly as possible, so that we can do all that good stuff in the right way. Let me come and line that up right. Oh, and actually I will have to just tweak this because this will start playing in a minute. But we'll see. Anyway, it's a great crowd, and it was a fantastic party last night. So of course I'm going to talk about the party, about the last night, which was a huge success. It was the biggest show that we've ever done, I think. You know what? I've just realized I was going to add a couple of topics to this, which I haven't done yet. But I can actually do that off my Twitter feed, so I can show you something from the beginning. But anyway, the great thing about these parties, about the Hanami, which Hikosaemon of course runs, and the summer party, which I run out of the Tokyo Sports Cafe for the last few years, is that it is the main event where people make videos introducing one another, and where you can discover who is worth following and who's making videos and who's active in the Japan community. And it's all these beautiful people over here. There are 70 people in that video, but we got 200 people at the party. So it was awesome. And there's the lag. That is a crazy lag. So I'm just going to pause that right there. Yes, that's right. Hakushu Midnight, you friggin' made it. You friggin' nailed it. You made it here, and welcome. You are welcome here, and it's good to see you. You heard no boom. I definitely said boom, cat players. I'm going to say boom again. I'm going to boom. I am here. I am here. I am back. I'm not I didn't really drink that much last night. It's the thing when you're organizing, you get kind of stressed out. But Mr. Life, I'm glad that you did make it home. It sounds like it got pretty crazy, as it does a lot of years that I don't that I go. It's very good to see Amble. Your thumbnail will be next week. I've got like 4 awesome thumbnails this week, which I'll show quickly on this thing as well. I'm going to go through them in sequence that they came in. This one's from Kantensai, and this is an awesome Mad Hiko, so thank you very much for that. Also, Andrea Moboya, very good to see. Spring in Melbourne, glad you're enjoying that. It's definitely getting into autumn here, which is actually the best time of year in Japan, in Tokyo. Jenny Silva, awesome to see you last night. Mikey Chen, awesome to see you last night. Nippon Culture Quest, I'm not sure if I saw you last night. And this is one thing, I made this clip with 70 people, and I know who most of them are actually, but there are some I'm not exactly sure, and it was really noisy, so I couldn't really tell. I couldn't hear some of the clips, which is another reason I'm going to ask people to just give me their if they're in it, to give me a tag, or tell me if there's anyone who knows who people who aren't tagged there are. But I will do tags actually while I'm traveling. I can't edit the video once I'm traveling, so that's why I put that up. Bae, whoa, is Bae in here? I think I missed him before, but Bae McNeil, that's awesome. And there's Megan. There's like heaps of people here. Megan with the Megan and katakana afterwards. That's how she introduced herself, but I know because I edited it just before. And that is the final clip in the video, so I'm going to just set it to play again, because I wish these this had like a loop. It could just like be a party all the time video thing, but that is what it is. Anyway, we've got lots of topics for tonight, so I'm going to try to race through them, however, just to make sure that so the video I just uploaded before this, however, I put it so it's scheduled to go up live tomorrow morning, because I want to let people watch this show as well. I don't want to put up 2 videos at the same time. So my video will go up tomorrow morning, but it is actually already uploaded, and I'm just going to play around with it a little bit. I'm going to put on as many annotations maybe as I can, although I might not have any time. Is Canada Jean streaming at the same time? I don't know. Is she streaming right now? I've always been in this lot. She actually comes in. She told me last night actually that she watches this. So I should actually mention it's been a big YouTube weekend. On Friday, Victor came. He was invited to a secret party, although I think now it's kind of out that it was on. It was like a 100,000 plus subscribers sort of party or something. You got some invite from YouTube, which he got permission to take me along on, which was very nice. So I got to hang out the YouTube space on Friday night, and that was pretty awesome. And then yesterday, actually before the party, one of the guys from YouTube I was talking to was telling me about a kind of awesome, basically like a reality TV type project, but actually being done like America's Next Top Model, about being like a beauty video blogger like Michelle Phan. And yeah, that's all public. It's a public competition at the moment, but it's being done like America's Next Top Model, to be, instead of Naomi Campbell, you've got Michelle Phan, and it's actually being done like proper TV production and all that sort of stuff, and sponsored. And it's a really, really awesome idea. I'm not sure how much of the details I'm allowed to say, but I went along to watch, and I was talking with the YouTube guys while I was there. And this has got the people who are currently running YouTube in Japan are real brilliant sort of sales guys. And when I was talking with them, they were saying it's kind of crazy that people have to pay for this. We should be being paid. It should at least be free. Like, if they hooked us up with people who should be selling or selling to us, or, for example, to do camera reviews or stuff like that. Which of course makes complete sense. And we're talking about, I think we have definitely outgrown the venue that we use. The Tokyo Sports Cafe we have used for the last 4 years, and it is a great venue. It's very easy to use. But I think that we might go into a bigger venue next year, and we might get some logistical help from YouTube. We got great swag this year. Congratulations to everybody who got a t-shirt. I actually included the shirt that I got in that, so that I gave that away. I wanted to make sure everybody got, as many people as possible got something. We got bracelets and stuff like that. It was really, really awesome. It was awesome to see Emily Louise Maitland, who came along. And yeah, so with the video, I'm so proud of it. I did one now. I went and actually Googled a whole lot of Adobe Premiere editing techniques. I found out how to automatically, basically, I play my own music, and I made a track months ago called September 5th, which I actually made for this, so it's the name of the track. So I'm playing the track September 5th, and I'm just in time with the beat, I'm just I'm marking the video, and then you can actually set it up to automatically populate the video with the tracks. The only problem is that you need to have the clips lined up for the right moment, so it kind of punches with the introduction for each person. So I did that, but I managed to do that inside an hour with 70 clips and render it, and it came out really, really well. Although it's actually kind of funny. I might do a second version of this, where it's actually really funny just showing it in time with the music, with just the camera switching on, and people saying, "Is this a photo or is this on?" And kind of with each person, and looking kind of bewildered each person. That was really fun as well. That was like the original test, but that came out super, super well, as you'll be able to see very, very soon. That is playing on I'm playing the MP4 at the moment, but yes, that'll be a good clip. And so come on and make sure you tag yourselves in that. There's already a bunch of good videos up on this actually. There is on so we've got Jake Knowlton, we've got Phoenix 787, we've got I'm afraid that if I start, I've just suddenly realized I'm afraid that if I start up Chrome, the new version doesn't use as much RAM, so it might not interfere, but it always uses a lot of RAM. Yeah, it's still kind of rammy. Oh, that's not good. No, I am going to stop that, because that could mess up with my broadcast. But anyway, on the party thread on Facebook, there's a bunch of videos and stuff like that already there, so you should go and check those good things out. There's a bunch of great videos. I was just watching a couple of them. Yeah, so anyway, let's get into the topics and so on. It's great to see so many people tonight. It's a really good crowd. Tokyo Twilight's great to see you. Hikipedia, always good to see you. Man, there's so many cool people. It was really cool to meet Dino Bianca, or Bianca Dino, who did a very good job cleaning my glasses. Thank you for that, because they were filthy. They were filthy, and she cleaned it up. Hey, Naranagi, it was very good to see you, sir, and it was very cool meeting you in Yokohama when you came by for lunch. So that was pretty cool. Hey, Englandese, good to see you. Benjamin Harris, man, we got all sorts of people here at the moment. This is pretty cool. This is a great crowd. I'm not talking about sheep yet. We will get to sheep. Of course we're going to get to sheep, because this is my show. Hey, JBoy74, thank you for the like and the retweet and all that good stuff. Indeed, Doga Doga was in. Oh, so you know Doga Doga. That's right. Yeah, I didn't realize it was Doga Doga. We had a moment there when I realized that. Just, hey, Sasumang28172, I'm getting used to saying your name now. Toru Saito, konbanwa, very good to see you. Bioman Neil, thank you for saying it was a great party. It was a great party, I really enjoyed it. And it was great. Yeah, for me, it's kind of funny. People ask me, was I enjoying it? And truth is, you don't really enjoy it because you're so kind of focused and stressed out about setting it up. But, yeah, I was very satisfied. It came out, it was the best party, I think, possibly the best YouTube party we've ever had, actually. And the best thing about it was actually, the party itself was awesome. But the conversations I had leading up to the party about what's possible for next year, I can't say everything, but I think next year it's going to be completely different if we really manage to pull it off. If I'm still involved with it next year and I'm still able to talk with the same people, I think we're going to blow the roof off next year. But this was really cool. I met some really awesome people. Actually, I had some great conversations. Although, as usual, I mean, when you're running it, I only talked to like literally less than 5% of the people I wanted to talk to last night. Nippon Culture Quest, great to have you in. Oh man, so many cool people. But let's go back with the live comments and get into the topics. So first of all, this was Nex Sonico, Zero Sonico from Uruguay, who's visiting at the moment. He took this photo, and I just couldn't help myself putting the straight out a meme on it because it just works straight out of YouTube. Victor and I, it's kind of funny. I kind of forget that we don't meet that often, right? So it was actually really cool to see. Hey, DW Jackson, good to see you there. And Barringer. So yeah, it was kind of good to meet up. And we actually don't get many opportunities to actually take a real two-shot, even though we talk like all the time, like multiple times a week. So it doesn't feel like I haven't seen him, but I can't take many photos like this. So yeah, Nihonjong, it was good to see you. That bar was easy, but I think we have outgrown it. So we'll see about next year. But they do good for us anyway. Yeah, that's a pretty cool pick. This was from Phil Nolan. This will be on in future weeks. This was a pretty good job actually. So Tokyo Tonight with a Vengeance. Oh, which reminds me, I've got to send you the PDN, so you might be able to do a bit of tighter job on that. So, but that looks really good. So thank you for that. That'll definitely be a thumbnail coming up soon. This week as well. Actually, was it this week? It was last week. I went to the Native Instrument sessions at the YouTube Space, which was awesome. And actually, you know what? I'm just realizing before I go any further with this, I actually I'm going to go into my tweets because I went to this thing which I kind of promote. Oh wait, new tweets. Yes, boom. So where is it? This was funny as hell. I was just reading this tonight. This is an Italian news story where this Pepper, this little cute little robot, it's an emotional, intelligent, it can actually like have a proper conversation with humans. It's super intelligent, it's polite, it's like a C3PO. It's a kind of a protocol droid. It's very nice. Apparently there was a 6-year-old unemployed man at SoftBank who found one of these robots and didn't like its attitude and kicked and damaged it and was arrested and put in jail. The comments speculating as to what the robot might have said to him, or that perhaps he should have kicked one of the staff and not the robot. So a bunch of interesting stuff there. But what I wanted to show you guys was this Beauty Bound Asia. This is the competition which I went to. I was invited to go and have a look. It was actually a bunch of very small sort of beauty oriented channels, but what it kind of represents is it's a big attempt at real crossover of like regular TV with YouTube, with kind of commercial backing, but without the kind of degree of control that like you have if you've got like Next Top Model, where the sponsors are controlling the whole script. Here, this is about video bloggers, so they have to like trust the people to and they can do anything that they want with the products. But there's a whole thing. They get training on how to make videos, on how to understand the products that come from the different sponsors and so on. But it's like an Asian-wide competition, like 11 countries at the same time. In Light Eyes, I subscribed to her tonight. She was awesome at the party. Her video of the party was great. She's got one of those little GoPro Steadicams, which I love. The video looks really sweet, really smooth. It's worth checking just for that. But anyway, this has been run by Michelle Fan, and a bunch of the people in Japan are involved in running this. So I went along to have a look, and it was really cool. And when he was talking about like, this is kind of an easy sell because it's familiar with what's already going on things like on satellite TV at the moment. It's like America's Next Top Model. It's very packageable. But the whole idea is that if this works, then you can go into other types of, similar competition around like regular video blogs or travel blogs. A travel blogger competition or something like that. The whole idea being that you're actually getting that transition of crappy reality VH1 TV show to hopefully, well, maybe not better or worse, but on social media, on regular people, right, on YouTube. So I think it's really cool, and it was really cool to be invited to go along and to talk with the people who are mapping this stuff out. And they were saying as well, like they're very sales oriented, and they're kind of like, next year let's talk about what to do with the party, because we don't even necessarily need to get money from YouTube per se, although they'll also give us some support, as they did this year with the awesome swag. But this is really cool, so I was very happy with what that represented. That is the link for Phoenix 787's awesome video. It's very long, but you do get to hear me shout at length and expletive, which was pretty cool. And Christine in Japan, great to see you. Hello, Christine in Japan, good to have you along there. So anyway, back onto the topics for tonight. Oh man, I'm already My wife has a throat cold, and I have to make sure I don't get a cold tonight. So, in fact, yeah, I was shouting a lot last night. You know, it's a noisy place, so and my throat isn't very, very good. So, I got to be careful. It's another reason I guess I should keep the show relatively tight tonight. But that is my video, which is already uploaded, but it is going to go live tomorrow morning, and it's with the music track called September 5th that I made for this like months and months ago, and I just pulled it out. It's actually not a great track. I really like the beat on it, the top. I was just playing around on it while I was walking home and having far too much fun. But yes, that was very good. So anyway, this is cool. Google is working on a way. Basically, they're creating a new codec. At the moment, they're using VP8, which is it's like MP4, which everybody uses. This is what I use. But the thing about MP4 is that now any person making a device that uses MP4 has to pay a 60-cent royalty, which isn't a big deal. But YouTube was kind of annoyed with this royalty thing as an inhibitor, so they actually created a competing codec called VP8, which they've been using on YouTube for a long time now. And now they're developing a new one. Oh, sorry, it was VP9 before, and they've developed now VP10. It's going to be the next standard, and it's completely free. So, you know, this is a standard which is probably going to replace MP4 actually. And what they're doing is they're making it very, very smart, as they do with all of these codecs, that this will basically allow you to save and stream a 4K video with half the necessary memory and bandwidth that you have at the moment, which means at the moment, you know, a lot of 4K videos, you have to buffer them up before you can watch them. You can't really stream them, but this will really enable the possibility of streaming 4K. Which is pretty cool, you know. And it's actually, so Victor got a GH4 this week, and he uploaded a video on that. I might have it in here, where he uploaded in 4K. And the thing is, there's two things about 4K. One, of course, if you watch it in 4K, most people don't have a screen which can show 4K. But even if you can't see 4K, even if you're just seeing within your screen, it will still look better. And the reason for that, oh, Carlos Diamante, you know what, I so wanted to talk to you last night, and I never got to talk to you. I was so excited to see you at the door, and I never got to, oh man, see, that's the thing with this party. When you thought I was taller. I'm pretty tall. I'm like 185 centimeters. But anyway, yes. Oh, Bradley Ford, good to see you, and you're in the video there, so that is cool too. That is playing there somewhere. Carlos Diamante, that's right. I really wanted to talk to you last night. It was great to see you at the door anyway. I mean, like I said, I was busy the whole time. But do I look like I'm 7 feet tall? Really? That's kind of cool. But anyway, where was I? So 4K video. So the thing is, it's not just the fact that it's high resolution, which of course we're going to get monitors that can show 4K pretty soon, and that's cool. But it's actually, that is Eric Surf6 in the background. He was there, and he is still in action, Englandese. It's the fact that you could upload, that YouTube will recognize 100 megabit per second videos that are uploaded in 4K, even if they're only shown in 720p or 1080p. Whereas the videos I upload are 10 megabits per second, which is the maximum that you're allowed on the YouTube codec. For high definition 1080p, and you know, this isn't HD at all. This is, you know, for stuff which I'd upload from my camera. 10 megabits per second I would have thought was as awesome as it can get. But if you look at Victor's video, you can see it's kind of scary. I think it's kind of scary maybe for women, like with makeup, because you can see every pore and it's actually, I've got to admit, it was more than I really wanted to see. But it just shows how amazingly clear that it's going to be, and when they enable this through VP10, and we're going to all be able to watch more 4K videos, it's going to be pretty awesome. So I thought that was pretty good. Squirrel, that's right. Megan, I get distracted easily, but I focus. I come back on track, because that is what I do. But that is it. That's right. It's actually, even when you're outputting. Well, but the thing which was interesting about this article, which I read the other week, is that you can actually upload it, even if you upload it. If you upscale a 1080p video to 4K, you can actually then upload it onto YouTube in 100 megabits per second, and it'll look super great in 1080p. But anyway, stabilization heaven. I imagine it would take Zero Sonico. Very good to see you, sir. And yes, I imagine it would take about 2 months to stabilize a 4K video. So yes, that would be true. More tech stuff. There's not a lot of Japan news, but I've got a lot of tech stuff. I think it's awesome that finally the Android Wear. I don't like the Apple Watch. I don't like it, and I actually really I think a lot of the Android Wear watches look really, really good, and the fact that now they are compatible with iOS, and that you can use them even if you've got an iOS phone, and you can get these much cooler looking round interfaces and stuff, and there are some cool, I love the look of the Moto 360. I'm going to be keeping an eye out actually now. I mean, the LG Watch Urbane I think is a really, really cool looking watch, and if you can use these with an iPhone, I'm actually interested. So I think that's kind of cool actually, even though I don't wear a watch anymore. But yes, So that is kind of good news. This I kind of had a chuckle at during the week. Apparently there is a Tokyo Realtor, which if you rent an apartment through them, they will give you, what is it, hundreds of dollars of anime decorations for your new apartment. You can just cover your apartment in anime decorations. I made a comment about this when I tweeted it that wasn't appreciated by some people. I apologize for the offense, and I did not mean to suggest that this would be a guarantee of celibacy for anybody who was seeking to enforce a vow of celibacy while living in Japan. But you know, you would want to be a little bit careful about taking someone back to an apartment that was covered in this kind of decor. I mean, it might work if you pick them up from the right place. But no, I would be careful, because they might run the other way. Hey, Waito-san, you got to run. Well, it's very good to see you, Waito-san, and thank you for joining. Wyatt, I remember now, Wyatt. So very good for coming. And yeah. So anyway, if that is your thing, if you want to have an apartment covered in anime stuff, and you know, and you're cool with all the consequences of that, and this is the place you want to go to. Interesting article there. Little Wall Street Journal thing here, talking about how foreigners are filling the workforce gaps, and there are big workforce gaps at the moment in construction. What else? There's a nursing thing that they're trying to fill at the moment. They've just opened up a housekeeping, you know, like a housemaid visas, which they've never had for Japan before. I mean, there are worker shortages all over the economy, and they are doing it by rapidly actually liberalizing immigration rules, which is also being helped by the fact that that's being done purely by bureaucrats and not by lawmakers, because, you know, that then it gets political and everyone gets anti-immigration. So it's actually pretty good. Alchemeda, if you love that apartment, it's there, it's waiting for you. They'll give you the money to set up an apartment like that. And apparently it's not just the apartment, they will give you hundreds of dollars to make any apartment look like that. So, you know, that's pretty cool. Check it out, it's on Rocket News. You can actually see the the information there. What else we got here? So we get the information page. By the way, I've got the link, which is for the Facebook page, which is right here. And at the moment, I would ask anyone who went along there to please. You cannot see the post there. Oh, go and see this on Facebook. In fact, maybe I will do that. Can I do that? Can I switch over to Facebook? If you go in there, you can see. Where is one from the thread? So you can actually see people. If you have photos from the event or video from the event or whatever, there's Jake Edelstein there. He's put a video up, but yes. Put your videos, put your photos and everything, because yeah, everyone gets a kick out of seeing each other there and being able to tag and all that sort of stuff. There's already a bunch of videos from the party that are there. Photos, videos, all that good stuff. So it was really good. I've put all my stuff there. So please go and use the event page on Facebook for sharing videos and photos of the event. And thank you once again for making that a huge success. The link is there in my Flipboard magazine. Jason Harris, some interesting advice there. You're Washington. That's cool. That's yeah. Or you watch anime, and even that's too much even for you. Well, yeah. Well, there we go. I mean, if you want to go crazy sometimes. There's the thing I mentioned before about inviting new visa categories for more foreigners as sports instructors and housekeepers, which is definitely both needed. Interesting. At the moment, Japan still has like minimal tobacco tax. Japan Tobacco, the cigarette, the main cigarette company in Japan, is actually still 50% government owned. It's owned by the Ministry of Finance, and whenever the Ministry of Health tries to bring in laws or regulations restricting smoking, the Ministry of Finance threatens to cut off the budget to the Ministry of Health. So in spite of the Ministry of Health actually wanting to restrict and to regulate smoking for a long time in Japan, because it brings in so much money, because the government, the Ministry of Finance actually makes money from the sales of cigarettes. They've actually blocked the Ministry of Health for doing it for a very long time. However, they have started to introduce some taxes, and now I think they're realizing that they're so out of step. Hey, Martin Melancourt, good to see you. Now that they've been out of step for so long, that with the rest of the world, that it looks like they are looking at now just making one box at least 1,000 yen. At the moment, I think, well, I don't smoke, so I don't know exactly, but I think you can pick up cigarettes for like 300 yen or 200 yen, which, you know, I mean, cigarettes are like $10. I mean, that's about $10 a pack in most countries now, based on taxes. In fact, is, you know, I mean, if they're not getting the money from the sales, they're getting it from the taxes anyway, so it's still good for the government, but it does actually meet the public health thing of reducing it. Phil Nolan, thank you for joining, and thank you for the awesome Die Hard thumbnail. I love that. And actually, I still owe you the PDN file, which I keep the logos in, which I will send to you. But anyway, what else we got? The big story this week, there was a big story this week that Tokyo 2020 logo was abandoned. It was actually the designer, that guy, was it Kenjiro Sano? He asked for it to be withdrawn. He has just been getting such a bashing from the online community, and everyone in Japan has decided they didn't like the logo very much, and I don't like it either. There are better logos out there. But it kind of started when there was like a vague Belgian guy who kind of filed a suit about a similar logo that he had designed in Belgium, which I'm willing to take him. I'm willing to believe that was a coincidence, but I think a lot of people took that and they just didn't like the logo to begin with, and they didn't like a lot of people just didn't like this guy, the designer. So they decided to pretty much the internet sleuths, the private investigators, and all these people with a lot of free time on the internet, and this is basically, Nichan, the originator that 4chan imitated. All of these people decided to look into every design that this company kind of sells commercially and see if it's been ripped off. And when they did, they discovered that a lot of the tote bags that they made for Suntory, or like sort of designs which they said were original, were ripped off of a bunch of famous designers, Pinterest, a bunch of different sites. Also, promotional materials that they made for this logo were actually, there was one case where they actually got a shot of Haneda Airport, where they actually showed it hanging all over Haneda Airport, but the photo of Haneda Airport was actually matched with the photo that was taken by a foreign blogger about traveling in Japan, and the photo was taken without permission, and the watermark was erased. It was actually that coming out which actually prompted him. He said, "I can't take this dress anymore. Please, I don't. I'm for my family and my company, take this down." It turns out, however, even though they've gotten rid of the logo, so huge win, you could say, for the online lynch mob, I would call it, that got together to pursue this thing. They're still going, because it turns out another story's come out. A bunch of people keep doing hang-up phone calls and harassment of another company in Osaka called Mr. Design, the same name as the company this guy runs. And it turns out that company was actually registered 2 years before his company. The difference is between a dot and like a space. But everyone's saying that he even ripped off his own company name, and they're finding more things, more plagiarism stuff at the moment. So a lot of people are saying you reap what you sow, but at the same time, they're pretty brutal, the Japanese internet lynch mob, and they're focused on this. This used to be something that the weekly magazines would do, but now, and the big thing, there's a big topic about this, was how this whole story was created and led by the anonymous online commenters on Nichan. And it was the newspapers and the weekly magazines. Everyone was following the internet community that was the one driving the story, which was kind of interesting. So a lot of people know about how YouTube has offered a service that, basically some content creators, if you want, I could make this whole thing paid subscriber only, and you could pay $5 a month to get access to the show if I wanted to charge my users to actually view my content, or pay-per-view or something like that. Apparently this led to a rumor that all of YouTube was going to be made pay-per-view, which went around Japan and was being widely believed. And so a lot of people were debating that. It set off a mild panic this week, which was, of course, corrected. But that option, of course, exists. I have a question for American people. What is it? Burger shop Shake Shack. So Shake Shack, I believe. Apparently, it's got a big following in America. It's meant to be a really, really good restaurant. Good burgers. I don't know. I've never heard of it before, but I'm always up for a good burger. So is this something I should go looking for? Is this something I should... I saw a picture of the burgers here. They look pretty good. That does look quite edible, so I don't know if anyone knows about Shake Shack. Is this something apparently they are going to set up? Where are they going to set up? I think it was Omotesando or something, like quite a posh neighborhood. Oh, Meiji Jingu Gaien. So, yeah, very posh neighborhood. They're going to set up a Japan restaurant. I'm going to go check it out if it's there. So yes, there's about a 40-second lag for the comments, I guess. So I guess I'm going to find that out later. But anyway, let me know. I'm not sure if I showed this in a previous week, but I've got this here anyway. Kyoto has had enough of rude tourists, so they put a bunch of manners guides. Don't smoke outdoors. There is an ironic thing. It's true, actually. A lot of foreigners think you can smoke outdoors is fine, but indoors is, the problem. Japan's the opposite, because in Japan, rather than, Phoenix approves of Shake Shack, so we have that there, approved via genitalia, so that's pretty good. Yes, the thing about Japan is that because the Ministry of Finance owns the tobacco company here, you're not allowed to say it'll give you cancer, but you can say that walking around holding a cigarette can burn kids and stuff like that. And so it's treated not as a cancer risk, but as a public safety risk for kids. That's why they have a picture of someone walking a kid. And that's why they say don't walk outdoors, because carrying a hot cigarette outdoors. And I'm just thinking, how many times like have I been burned, or had friends who have been burned in nightclubs from people holding cigarettes? I mean, there's just nothing good about them in my book anyway. So that's, but the mentality is different, so that's fair enough. If you're in Kyoto and you see a Michael, please be polite. Don't just ambush them and take photos. So that's fair enough. Taxi doors, are they open and close on their own? Well, foreigners don't know that, and you do tend to slam the door. It's funny because I've been in a taxi where apparently the foot lever is controlled sometimes by a foot lever on the old cars, where they'll open and close the door. My Australian friend once slammed the taxi door, and the taxi driver, or he pulled the door like when he got in, and the taxi driver went, ow! Because obviously there was some sort of lever by his foot which shot out and kicked him in the leg, basically, by pulling the door. So you got to be careful. It's hard to remember at first, and it's the opposite problem. When I go overseas, I get out of taxis and I forget to close the door because I'm used to it all being automatic. So it's the other way around. But yes, indeed. Posey May, thank you for clarifying that. So apparently, okay, so I see a lot of verification of Shake Shack, so that is pretty good. Whataburger, I don't know what Whataburger is, but Whataburger must be pretty good. Don't litter, of course. Take your shoes off before stepping on tatami. Don't be an idiot, of course. Don't bring your own drinks and foods to a restaurant. Yeah, a lot of cheap foreigners do that sort of thing. So yeah, what else we got here? Please line up. Yes, this is something a lot of Chinese tourists have been causing some angst about, because, you know, in a lot of parts of China anyway, when I was in Dalian, they all lined up just fine. It was the Japanese tourists I saw that were cutting in, but in southern China apparently they don't often line up, and so that's a culture thing that causes a lot of trouble. Another thing that people complain about from Chinese tourists is the tendency to cancel at the last minute, because they have to prepare all the food and they actually go and order the food for the reservation, so that can cause a lot of problems. Bicycling under the influence, well, that's more an issue for residents rather than tourists, but sure, why not? Keep toilets clean. That's been a big issue in Kyoto lately. Again, unfortunately, it's been the Chinese tourists apparently, in particular. It's just they have different toilet culture, which, you know, means that the toilets are often not clean at all after they've been used. Make room for others. Don't leave your bicycle on the road. All this sort of stuff. There are specific places, so that's on. They've got fines and all that sort of stuff. 5 years in prison for bicycling under the influence, although honestly everyone kind of does that. Yes, don't get run over by trains. There's a good list here actually, and this is all made by a tourist board for Kyoto, so some good advice. I can't check all this stuff out, it is there. Japan manners 101, but you know, especially in Kyoto, you need to, I can't help but put this one on. The Kentucky clerk who refused to perform gay marriages. I'm glad she's in jail, and to me this is exactly like, actually, you know, when you talk about the opponents of racial integration, desegregation in the United States in the 1950s and 60s, the Bible has a lot of slavery. I mean, a lot of, you know, characters in the Old Testament had slaves. That talks about them, and actually Christianity was used to justify the bigotry of persecuting black people. It's amazing to me that black people chose to be Christian when the religion was used and invoked to justify segregation and the terrible persecution that they faced as slaves and post-slavery in America. To me, someone like this woman invoking religion as a basis for discriminating against same-sex couples is just the same as people in the 50s using the same religious justification for justifying, you know, racial bigotry. And it's bigotry, it is the same thing. And so I'm really glad that the Supreme Court has found her in contempt and put her in jail, and the fact that there is like a Christian charity that is paying for her legal aid, to me that is the same as a Christian charity paying for legal aid of clan members. You know, it's completely unconscionable, and yeah, I'm really glad that she's in jail. I think it's a great signal that's being sent here, and it says that, you know, yes, you can be religious so long as you are not causing harm or injustice or bigotry, or expressing your religious beliefs in the form of unacceptable bigotry towards other people, and that's what this moron is doing. So I'm glad she's in jail. Very, very good. And I hope they leave her, and, you know, martyr her, do it, because seriously, I want to see everyone who comes out to leap to the defense, because you're effectively, if you ask me, you are the same as people who are leaping to the defense of people who justifying racial bigotry. This is the same as racial bigotry to me, and I'm glad that she's in jail for that, and I'm glad she's being persecuted. Jason C. Harris, there was the same as a Muslim clerk apparently saying that she couldn't give a woman a driver's license. Oh, really? And was that woman put away as well? Well, hell yes. And this is the thing. I mean, that's not being anti-Muslim. This is America and that's Saudi Arabia. And besides which, you get a lot of majority Muslim countries that are extremely liberal, of course. I mean, so that's insane, actually. Well, that's the same as this, actually. Muslims not giving driver's license. Or is that a hypothetical? Or did that actually happen? If that actually happened, that would be insane. But yeah, it's pretty much the same. But try to tell them that. And, I have people in my own family who are kind of saying how, there's more crime in society because people are now doing other religions other than Christianity. I don't think it's the other religions that are the cause. But anyway, I'm very glad she's in jail, and I hope she stays there, and I hope, well, she should be fired anyway. This is interesting. There's a new, where's my one? There's a new theater camera that's coming out. I did my review on this camera before. I love what it represents. It's a very compact 360 video shooter, and I love it. But I want it to be higher resolution because the resolution's crap. You can only see 360p at a time, and even that 360p, you can make 360p look good. Just to explain the math very quickly, it shoots a 1080. It shoots all video 360 degree all around like a ball, all kind of stretched out onto a 1080p video. But the thing is, because you're looking around, you're seeing a window on that 360p video of 1/9 of the size of that video, which means that you're seeing basically at any given time a 360p video against like a canvas of a 1080p video. Overall, there's two problems with that. One, it says 1080p, but it's not. It's actually 360p, so it's quite low resolution. And on top of that, it was a really crappy sensor and really low resolution bitrate for the video as well. So the video itself, even as a 360p video, is kind of crap, and it's bad in low light. Even though in good light, on a nice day and relatively still, it still looks pretty good. So Hiko has upgraded, and this is awesome. You talk about a company though that has a product that they should be reaching out to YouTubers to promote. It's kind of crazy. Hiko is a real engineers company, and they have no idea how to market their products, if you ask me. I love this thing, and they don't give them. You can give them to anybody, and they will market and sell as many of these as you can make. I was hoping that the next one of these that would come out would be 4K, so that you'd be able to look around at 1080p in any one of the windows that you look through. But apparently they've taken the other approach. They're still doing it 1080p. Canvas, but they're increasing the bitrate and resolution and improving the low light performance. So it apparently does look better, although I really still wish they would go and do the full jump to a high resolution sensor. But this is still really exciting. It is coming out in early November. It'll be worth about $400, which is a little bit much. I'm not sure if I could justify getting a new one based on that, but I really want to see what the videos for it look like. This is the thing. I want to go and see what people post videos on YouTube from this and see what real life videos look like, and that's why they should be just handing these out to YouTubers to promote it. And El Komedo, that's right, they were marketing it at the YouTube space in Japan as well. Although the thing is, the YouTube space in Japan was so restricted. I mean, I asked to be invited when they do an event there, and I never got invited to it. I would have paid. I paid for my own, and I did a review, and I market the hell out of these things for nothing, right? So yeah, anyway, it's really interesting. I think this really is the future of making video, particularly for travel videos, the idea that you can walk around and share the entire atmosphere of walking around. And with Oculus and everything coming out, this is compatible with that. So I think this is really, really awesome. And I'm interested to check it out, although at the same time I'm a little bit disappointed they didn't increase the resolution of the video. But there you go. This movie, I don't know if you've seen this, you should check this out. This was from Gizmodo. What was this called? It's called Hell's Club. And it's like a super edit of basically a bunch of clips of, well, you can see here. So this is like a little GIF of part of it. It's like a 10-minute movie. It is the best video of any sort that I have seen all year, and I will just tell you, you have to watch this. It's just awesome. It's got like you've got El Pacino from Carlito's Way, but you've got all these characters are meeting their young selves and their future selves, and it's just mashed up so that they're interacting with each other. And you use the lighting of the club and everything. It is so good. The music, the way that this is edited, this is as good as that Swedish action. What is it? Kung Fury. It is there with Kung Fury. In fact, I would say this beats Kung Fury. This is really quality editing. So this is a must check out. Hell's Club is just freaking amazing. Seriously, Hell's Club. Just go. Is this on YouTube or is this on like Vimeo or something? People, they think they're really good at editing. They upload to Vimeo because they're too good for YouTube. But seriously, where is this on? It's on YouTube. There it is. It's on YouTube. So look up Hell's Club on YouTube, and you will thank me. Come back and thank me. Thank me in the comments later on after the video has gone up, so I know that you went and watched it, because it is like the best thing ever. the huge migration thing in Europe at the moment. A quick thing about this. This is like, I know it's crazy numbers of people, but this is pretty much like, this is another opportunity to think about if the Jews had gotten out of Eastern Europe during World War II and had gone through Western Europe, and there had been opportunity to shelter them or whatever, and it was actually at the time in 1938 Jews trying to get out. I mean, it was something that was the same reaction. A lot of countries wanted to stop it, but if you knew what was going to happen to them, you'd like to think that every house would have been a Diary of Anne Frank. At least people would have spontaneously shown a lot of sympathy and protected. It's a huge credit to Germany that they are proactively taking in the Syrian, and not just Syrian as well, Libyan, a bunch of other countries as well, refugees. They are coming en masse into Europe. And you know what, I mean, at the same time, I suppose this is partly what happens when you have such a differential of security and safety and development so close together. It's one thing to just have Europe being wealthy and everywhere else not, and Europe isn't responsible for making sure Syria necessarily resolves its civil war as wealthy. But at the same time, I mean, these are people who are clearly escaping for their lives, and and you think about every country, my own country, New Zealand, America, Britain, Europe, we're all built on immigration, and on this sort of immigration. My own family, part of my family, walked across Europe from now Eastern Ukraine or Western Ukraine, Moldova, Romania, at the end of the 19th century. So before World War II or anything, but they walked all the way across Europe, very much like these people walking from Syria to Germany, the same distance. My family walked across Europe to get ship across to England, and then later go to New Zealand, and it was in the similar circumstances they were facing, being killed where they were. It amazes me that they did this, and they went through countries like Poland where they got wrapped up in things like pogroms and so on, and this is all in the family history, and we all think, thank God we were able to get out, and thank God we were able to get to a country like New Zealand, where we've had a great life ever since. And that's one part. I mean, the rest of them, 7/8 of my ancestors all came to New Zealand like as normal migrants, but I had a refugee. I have a refugee background on my father's line, and that's what these people are facing. And it's kind of like, some people take the attitude we don't have to look after them or whatever, or this is like, the whole world is just going to come to Europe or America now, but that's what happened when America got founded in the first place. It's not like the Native Americans were overjoyed to host the rejects of Europe, which is what America started out as, with the Pilgrims and so on. So, I don't know, I feel like there's such a huge moral imperative to look after, to look after these people. It also really presents a situation and brings to light the movie. What's that movie by the guy who made District 9 and with Matt Damon? There was a movie with Matt Damon that came out about going up to a space station or something, and he talks about, what's the name of that movie? It wasn't so good. It was a bit disappointing. But it's like that, the idea of having a geographically distinguished classes and people desperate to go somewhere better, and he said this is actually, I read an interview with him about that movie, and he said this was actually, it's based on real life, the world right now, and this is it coming back. So for me, I don't know, I mean, apparently there's a story today, I was just actually tweeted tonight, that the UN has asked Japan to help take some of the refugees. Only took 5 refugees in Japan last year out of 11,000 applications. Japan boasts about having, was it Sugihara, the Japanese diplomat who issued transit visas for Jews to escape Europe, which were, saved their lives. And they boast about this great humanitarian. They've had the head of the UNHCR, and yet, I think there is a general human mandate to look after these people. Elysium, thank you, Zerosonico. That's right. But this is Elysium right now, and this is what the director of that was talking about. That this is happening right now. So it's tough. The numbers are huge. It's very hard to integrate these people. Maybe you're also sacrificing some security, letting them come across. But at the same time, it's very convenient to find all the reasons not to accept them or not to look after them. But and was Yorkshire that bad in its day when they left? Well, that's interesting. Yorkshire was actually pretty bad as well, as if you know Yorkshire history, Amber. So the 1/8 of me is from Romania, the other 7/8 are from Yorkshire. But if you know about Yorkshire, like the 19th century and the 17th century, the mortality rate of kids was like, everyone knew would have like 10 kids and only 3 of them would survive. during the industrial era in Yorkshire was, I mean, even Monty Python and the meaning of life, they introduced, the third world, Yorkshire. That's kind of how it was in the 19th century, right? I mean, that's why there were so many Yorkshire people who went to America and Australia. I mean, they were the first ones to take tickets to leave because it was overpopulated, and it was the most backward part of I mean, it was, it suffered from the Industrial Revolution. So, even Yorkshire as well, we were all trying to get out. And I'm glad that they left, but at the same time I would love to go back now and check it all out. Check out Bronte country, where my West Yorkshire, where my ancestors are from. But anyway, I don't know, this has captured a lot of my attention lately anyway, so at the YouTube 100,000 plus party, oh wait a minute, I won a t-shirt. Well, I won the bingo. I've never won a bingo thing, I think, in my whole life. Is it here? That's not me. It's a good looking man, but it's not me. That's me. Yay. I can't zoom in on it, but I won a shirt, so that was pretty cool. The 5 types of foreigner you'll meet in Japan. I'm going to have to wrap this up soon because I've got to finish tidying up and do pre-trip stuff. The kid in the candy store, I was that for a while. The plastic sensei, the wannabe guy who's been here for too long, or pretends to know everything. The Hatemus Japanicus, the guy who hates everything. The whiner, the bubble dweller, who lives in Japan for a long time but never learns Japanese. And the secret ninja, the guy who blends in, which I aspire to be. It's kind of fun. Thing here about, it's an article in Japanese, but talking about how they're dramatically liberalizing Japan's immigration regulations. Coal mining, the black lung. Pop, I got the black lung. That's right, Amble. They're dramatically liberalizing immigration, not refugee asylum laws at the moment, but they are allowing more and more immigrants, and there's a feature on NHK about that. That's interesting. Of course, we had the big China parade this week, where they featured, although they insisted it was all about peace and China's a peaceful country and is not expansionist, at the same time they did show a nice production video showing the Chinese People's Liberation Army destroying the American forces in Okinawa with missiles and a sea of fire. It was pretty cool to watch, although it doesn't exactly match the message that the words that they were saying. Panasonic is bringing back the SL1200 turntables, which I've got just beside me over there. That is cool. It was kind of, I couldn't believe that they got rid of them in the first place, so they are coming back. That is pretty cool. There's a story of a hospital which actually fired a nurse in a hospital when she got pregnant. The head of the hospital said, "We don't need a pregnant woman around here," of all the places. And they've actually, for the first time, they've been named and shamed in public by the health ministry for doing that, so that's good stuff. But here we are, Nimpa Iranai. There's some story and was fired for that, so her claim got through and they're being disgraced, which is good news. That is awesome. Thank you for that, Sagulife. I actually thought this was Raz, but Raz is on the thing as well, but this was done by you, Travis Moore, so thank you for that, very much appreciated. And thank you, Amber, for this. I love this, and I will be doing that, putting that up probably next week. And that is all the topics that I've got. That is all the way through, so thank you for joining me. You can always tell a Yorkshireman. So yes, indeed. Oh, Yorkshire, first place. York was the first city anywhere to have a recorded pogrom. Jews are not allowed to stop in York, actually, which is funny because I'm a mix of those things. Wonderful to see you all, and really, really awesome party last night. And thank you to everyone who came and made that a huge success. Great to see you all. My video will be going up tomorrow morning. I've got by the way, J Philosopher, yes, new songs are definitely coming out on vinyl. It's very easy to produce, and the sound quality is much better than digital, and that's why they're actually, in a way, vinyl sales have actually gone up since at the same time that Panasonic discontinued the SLs. They never, again, this is another case of a great Japanese company making a great product, but they never understood the value of what they had. The SL1200s are just the best example of that. So yes, anyway, great video coming up tomorrow. I'm going to go to Malaysia. I've been to Malaysia like 3 or 4 times in the last year for work, but I might do a Malaysia video. I did a North Korea video and a China video. I might do a Malaysia video. We'll see how I get on. I'm going to be there for work, so I'm going to be pretty busy, but I'll be back next week. Week after next, I'm going to Thailand. That's going to be pretty cool. That'll be for a vacation. I'm taking the lad. That'll be pretty cool. Great to see you all. Thanks so much to everyone who came to the party, and for the people who couldn't come to the party, keep a watch out, because these are going to get bigger. We now have the attention of some powerful support, which means that we are gonna get some serious upgrades for the future parties. I'm not gonna make a music track tonight. I will make music while I'm on my vacation, so check out for that. Caroline van Ooster de Boer. Sorry that you only caught the tail end, but you can see the start anyway. Got a lot of cool topics tonight, a lot of good stuff to cover, so hope you can come back and watch it. I know it is tomorrow. Well, it's yesterday morning for you, Baron. Although it's going to be tomorrow morning in 10 minutes here. I'd love to go to Australia. Well, I'm going to go to Australia at the end of the year, Cat Plays, and I'm going to be going to Brisbane, so I don't know if you're going to be around Brisbane, but I will be there at the end of the year. Dina81, Thailand will be awesome, and I will be taking video of that, so have a good night, everyone. Tim Hiko L, it was lovely meeting you. It's nice to meet another North Shore resident at the party last night, and everyone have a good night, and stay cool till after school. Ka kite anō. Peace. That's the after school sign off from the 1980s when we had one channel in New Zealand. There's my outro, and I'm going to sign out. Have a good night, everyone. Peace. Boom. Check out all the videos and the photos and everything on the event page on Facebook, because it was awesome, and you can find out lots of new channels to subscribe to, like Timiko L, for example. Okay, see you guys later. Peace. Boom. Boom. One more boom. Boom. Okay.